Ed, what's up? How's it going, everybody? Hope everyone's had a good past week.
Yeah, it's Bad Batch Day.
Bad Batch
Bad
Wednesday.
Batch Day. Although after last week, I think we probably call it Mediocre Batch. Not necessarily. Oh, and answer your question, it was 48 frames on The Hobbit. Sorry, we had
Was it 48?
anyone listening? Yeah, we were chatting about this. Now I'm curious. I'm going to go back and watch it. We're talking about Avatar and frame rates and how some of it looked like video gameplay, and it's kind of more.
I remember The
more
Hobbit
high
first
things.
came out. There was a lot of whining about the frame rate.
Interesting.
Because it didn't match up. It didn't look like the original trilogy, right?
Yeah, I wonder if he changed it when he remastered it. Anyway,
all right, we're here to talk Bad Batch. Where we got episode 3.
Yep.
And we catch up with one Crosshair who was notably absent from the premiere. We don't see any of the regular clones. So Crosshair, we find out, even though he knew at the end of the last finale that he was basically left and they shelled him when he was down there. Like he saw kind of how ruthless the Empire was, but he waited in Camino and waited for pickup. I can't remember how many cycles they said he sat there, but
32.
Yeah. So he is fanatical, I think is the best way to put it. Like he is, yes,
I think
sir.
It goes with his heightened abilities, right? Like if you think about what he does so well, he's so hyper focused on what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It makes sense that he would be perceived as fanatical. I mean, like shooting down the barrel of that gun in that episode was amazing, right? So it was like, I think what I'm saying is I think it just makes sense based on
it. I almost feel like when he sees all these other clones questioning the orders, it almost makes him want to go the other way even harder. Like he just seems like he goes against the grain. Like that's just innate to him. So he gets some interesting things to do. The other big, obviously, surprise this episode is we get to finally catch up with Clone Commander Cody.
Right.
And it's kind of cool. He's wearing his exact same armor. It's just been painted white and gray. But he still has like the little whatever that antenna thing is on his shoulder, and it has his visor helmet. So very distinctly Cody. And I'd love to get your opinion on Cody, because Cody's someone who had a prominent role in Revenge of the Sith, right? He was Obi-Wan's clone. Like he was probably, you could argue, the main clone from live action, whereas Commander Rex was the animated kind of character for the Clone Wars, right?
I agree.
So Cody, we haven't really seen much of. And since we've had Rex and most of the Bad Batch, everyone's like disobeying, their chips, getting their chips out, Order 66. I had read some discussions online, like prior, like weeks ago, on if when they introduced Cody, they were kind of hoping he would be like 100% loyal to the Empire and functioning as can be, because it fits his character, right? Like he, blew Obi-Wan right off the side of that cliff face. Like with all the other clones going the other way. But we quickly see that that's not the plan they're going to have for Cody, because by the time we get to the end, he's already gone AWOL.
Yeah, that was quick. I'm actually surprised that they went that fast with it.
Yeah, and like if there is, I thought this episode was a lot stronger than the premiere. But if I do have a gripe, it's actually with Cody's change, because we saw how hard it is for clones to disobey the chip. You know what I mean? We didn't get any indication. Yeah, we didn't get any indication his was malfunctioning. We don't have any indication he's removed it. If he was consciously enough aware to remove it, you'd think he would have already left by then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like he was treading water. But yeah, that's a fair gripe. I mean, you can't really sit on the fence.
Yeah.
But they've talked about Regs going AWOL, but nowhere in...
Yeah, they brought it up.
Nowhere in the episode, though, do you hear anything about them having their chip removed. Just that they're going AWOL.
Yeah, so it's
again, is it a bit of a hole? Maybe
it's a bit of an inconsistency for me, just because we've saw how hard it is to disobey that chip, and like how hard it is to actually get it removed. Like the Bad Batch had to go to a downed Venator cruiser, find an operating bay that was still up to get it taken out. You know what I mean? Like Ahsoka had to.
That was a great episode.
Ahsoka had to get Rex's out on, in the med bay on again another starship. So like,
Yeah.
it seems like to get these things out, it's difficult. So like the Bad Batch originally, they didn't really control them, right? But their background was they were different, right?
Well, they were so they were
Yeah.
before the chips went in. So
They
wait,
still had they had chips, but
no,
since
they did have chips.
since they were altered clones, I think the argument was that their brain chemistry, everything was a little bit different than the
Okay.
regs. So that's why when Order 66 first happened, they didn't really remember. Like the whole first half season was struggling against the chip, right? It slowly started to take over, right? Like remember Wrecker? They had to get out of Wrecker in that.
Yeah.
So the Bad Batch, so they had a whole narrative on why they were able to fight it. Even Rex couldn't fight it. He needed to have the emergency surgery to get it out. So for Cody to just magically be like, I'm out of here. I get it. He saw something, he saw some things he didn't like, obviously,
but
right?
He should not like them.
Yeah, he should
be obedient. He should have pulled the trigger without hesitation.
Yeah, when his superior said execute her, he should have, if the chip is functioning, he should have pulled the trigger right away.
They did a really good job making this very grown up.
Yeah.
Like even the soundtrack they used, showing the monotony of the schedule of Crosshair, like that is not children's anime. Like that's not children's animated shows. I mean, they can watch it. There's nothing inappropriate about it, but they did a really good job of, last week there was no soul to it. I was thinking about that. Like there was no substance, and they did such a good job with that last season where they really, it's hard to believe saying this about an animated show with Star Wars, but they're starting to do a good job pulling you in, and this episode was really good.
Yeah, so again, the chip thing aside, I liked seeing Cody and him following the rules normal and then promising something. Like you got to remember, he's a commander, right?
Yeah.
Like promising, hey, like we will settle this peacefully, like drop your arms, and then to be instantly overstated by the Imperial leader for that area. Like you could tell he was shocked, and then Crosshair's just like, again, we talked about the beginning, fanatical. Like I knew he was going to put her down immediately, which he did.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Crosshair keeps proving himself loyal to the Empire. Cody's gone, so it's obviously now Cody's going to meet up with Clone Force 99, which will be neat to see.
Yep.
And Rex, yeah,
cannot wait to see Cody and Rex together.
Yeah. So then I guess the other thing I want to touch on was the action this episode. I thought, like, we talked about it in season 1, if you recall, on how they're going to have to tread carefully with Crosshair hunting the other clones because of how deadly accurate they made him out to be. It's going to be hard for him to miss, right?
Yeah.
Like they were going to have to invent situations where he wasn't going to be able to shoot them, which I thought they ended up doing a pretty good job doing. And
very
again,
much so.
Yeah, and again, in this episode, we get to see Crosshair just go sniper crazy.
He was like so good.
That shot down the barrel of tank was just cool.
Amazing. And I love that he drew the fire, because you'd be like, oh, well, he missed. No. He was just drawing the fire so we could see down the barrel. Like, it was so
tilts
good.
a little closer. Again, I don't know about the physics of why a laser through the barrel would cause the entire thing to explode, but hey, it had the cool factor.
Science, bud. Science.
And then we saw in previous seasons with him, the little mirror reflector things he uses.
Yeah, that's insanely cool. Did you see the cool Easter egg? Not really an Easter egg. It's kind of like a nod. In the opening scene, when the Empire shows up and they're hiding, somebody goes in and they're wearing the exact outfit that Leia uses in Return of the Jedi when she breaks into Jabba the Hutt's lair.
Bosch. It's Boush. No.
Yeah. And even the language, Drexus, I'm pretty sure was the same language they were speaking. So she obviously got that from somebody from Drexus. But yeah, it's literally, so as they're landing and they're coming off,
I'm gonna look it up.
Somebody opens it up and brings them into their home, and they're wearing the full Leia Return of the Jedi. I'm like, I bet you Tyler didn't see that. I'm gonna be the guy to point something out.
You probably saw it on the internet.
I did not. Actually, I definitely did not.
Oh wait,
You and I both know I'm not that prepared.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, so it's the opening scene when they land.
Yeah, everyone's running.
The door opens and someone comes in wearing the full, like a little nose piece. It's literally Leia's outfit.
Nah, that's not the
It is
same.
so. Can you
It's
share
not
it?
the
You see
same.
this?
Yeah, well, let's see if you're talking about the same one here.
Yeah, all right. Break it up. Let's see it.
All right, let me share.
Yeah.
Share screen. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at?
Look, I get it. Your ego cannot allow you to think that I could.
It's fine.
It's coming
I
up.
don't mind. I don't mind being wrong. But I'm telling you right now, is that right there?
Yeah, that's literally it.
No.
Come on.
No, that's not it.
Okay, can you jump on Google and find the outfit? It might not be the same chest, but it's that same look. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Da-do.
Oh, you can't see my screen, can you?
No. Okay, exit that and share the other.
Yeah. See?
I mean, it's gotta be of the same origin. It might
Like
be a slight stretch, but come on.
Yeah.
Anybody who watches that, throw me a bone here.
Nah, bro.
If anyone's watching this, defend me, chuck me a bone. Is it not the same origin of it? It looks virtually the same. It's just different colors on it.
Yeah, it's a little similar,
but hers is painted orange. Ooh, it's the same thing.
No,
even the sounds that come out of its mouth is the same.
Not the same. Not
what do
the
you
same.
know?
I know nothing, Jon Snow.
It's not a ship. You don't know.
So we had the cool action, right?
Yep. That's cool
what else you like? We see I don't know if we saw this in the first season or not, but we were starting to see like that first generation stormtrooper armor.
Yeah. I like that they're subtly doing it.
Yeah, I can't remember in the first season if we saw that or not, but we're seeing the first gen stormtroopers, but there's also the regs still wearing clone armor, so I guess certain battalions are getting rolled out at a certain time.
Well, the thing is, are they still all clones, or are they at the point where they're recruiting, and is that a differentiator?
Yeah,
if you're not a clone, you wear first generation. If you're a
clone, we know they're phasing out the clones and adding recruits. Conscription.
Yeah.
What do you call that when you
conscripted? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a limb and say that your first generation pieces are your recruited people, are your conscripted people.
And then we saw basically the whole droid arsenal. So
how cool was that?
So everything from B1s to the BX Commando assassin droids to
they roll it out.
Tanks to droidicas to the
I like the tac droid.
Yeah, the tactical droid.
Tactical droid like like the thinker. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you miss Roger?
Yeah,
I'm like a 9. I love it. I love Roger. I use it probably every week.
I texted you today, Roger, when you asked me something.
I know, and I didn't reply because you didn't write Roger again. It was only one Roger. I was disappointed.
I did that because I just watched the episode
once a week to somebody. We like Roger.
Do you?
Oh, absolutely.
But seeing the old Clone Wars stuff is always a positive. I think.
Love it.
Especially in this era, right? Like they could have those droid factories pumping out droids everywhere, and if that was a separatist world, it would stand to reason that they likely still had a little battalion or you know some droids that were serviceable. So it's neat to see.
Okay, how did you feel about rooting for the droids? Like I've never rooted for a B1. I've never wanted them to hit a target. Mind you, they do a good job making you sympathize with Crosshair, but in theory, like the Rogers are the good guys. It took me a moment as watching. I'm like, what is happening here? Why am I rooting for these things?
I
Because
when the BX Commando droids came out, I was like, okay, they're gonna trim down these clones real fast. I was expecting it just to be Cody and Crosshair left.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Is this a season 1?
Season 2, Mr. Zero Winter.
Season 2. Season 2. There is a season 1.
And it is fantastic. I think it took everybody by it took everybody by surprise. The expectations were pretty low, and
there's actually a decent amount of
it's amazing.
Yeah, there's actually a decent amount of episodes. There's actually I got it up right here. Season 1 is 16 episodes long, so it's not too shabby. Not too shabby.
But it's
a good watch.
But it's easy to consume. They're 29-minute episodes, 24 of its actual show. It's great.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about, or you want to rate this thing?
Let's rate it.
All right. What do you got?
Last week I was really weak at like 6-7.
Yeah, you're in the 6s. I think that might be the first.
I'm going to go to 7-4. I thought they did just such a better job. I mean, I'm very fascinated about the Crosshair. Very fascinated with the Crosshair story. It didn't blow my mind. If I could be super hyper picky to get it over that 7.5, and for No Winters or Lost Winter, whatever it is, we rate very hard. If you've never watched us before, like getting a 9 is almost unheard of. What would have crossed it over the 7.5 mark for me would have been if you saw something with Cody that pulled at you when he went AWOL. Like I want to even a glimpse. It could have been a 5-second little piece.
Yeah,
I would have liked to have seen that. That would have pushed it to 7.5, 7.6.
Yeah, we're kind of sharing a brain. I'm about 7.5 on this one. Again, I thought the action was cool, but as far as overall story wise, it was just a one-off mission. It served its purpose basically to show us Crosshair's back.
Yep.
He still can snipe, and Cody saw some bad stuff from the Empire. And
somehow had his chip magically removed.
Yeah, and like again, my gripe around the chip, I wish they would have went a little bit more into that.
Yeah, like show it.
Seen season 2, episode 1 and 2. I didn't know that. Yeah. So we're reviewing episode 3 right now. Yeah, last week was episode 1 and 2, and then there is a whole season 1, 16 episodes.
And if you are a Star Wars
highly
guy,
recommend.
It is fantastic. Yeah. Bad Batch, Rogue Squadron 99 are so good. You literally you fall in love with the characters. As weird as that is as a grown man to say it about an animated Star Wars show. Like there's such a neat transformation between these group of clone brothers. I definitely recommend you check it out. It's great.
I won't spoil what happens, but like I will tell you one thing. The premiere is obviously, I think it's a multi-episode premiere, but it starts off with, the coveted Order 66 scene. So everyone loves Order 66 scenes from characters we haven't seen it happen to yet. So it definitely kicks off in a pretty good way. Not so much season 2, but
that's okay.
Season
we're going to give it time. It's got to germinate. Yeah. It's got to germinate. All right. That's it.
They'll work their way into the important stuff. So that's it for us. We will be back again next Wednesday. We will review what they got for us. I'm imagining we're going to be back with the main cast and crew, and hopefully we can start moving this storyline forward and touch some of those threads from last season.
Yep.
Any final words, Ged?
I got nothing. It was a pleasure as always. I'm glad it stepped in the right direction.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let us know in the comments what you thought, and we'll see you all next week.
Cheers.
Peace out.